Alright, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are while you're watching this video. So I'm just gonna go over the new FFBE updates number 50, Lunar New Year 2021 Guide for Global, put out by obviously Shali and the FFBE team. Um, First off, I'm just gonna start this off. Spoiler alert, disappointed. Severely disappointed, but we'll get into that more as we go. So I'm just gonna cover some of the basics. Not really gonna jump into too many like heavy details. We'll see how things obviously shake out over the next few weeks, few months, but let's jump right into it. So, obviously, Lunar New Year coming this week. News will probably be out tonight. Um, from what I've noticed, it's about 3:30 a.m. PST that the news usually starts to roll out to devices. Most of the time, I see it about 4. Um, so the new unit we're gonna be getting, new NeoVision unit is, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's Shu it's normal form, true double hand water magic DPS, and its brave shift form is gonna be spirit DPS with some healing. Um, the STMR is gonna be a rod. It's like 7th Nirvana. Magic 183, Spirit 140, and then it's gonna have some Magic and Spirit True Double Hand built in. Um, so if you're looking to get that Yoshikiri's Magic up a little bit more, Spirit up a little bit more, you might be interested in this. I don't know. If you've been packing away those STMRs for Yoshikiri, well, you should have a decent little stash for this unit if you're going to pull for it. The TMR is going to be a Magic and Spirit 20%. Fire, Water, Resist 30%, Magic 20% with Rod, and Spirit 20% with Staff. You know, okay TMR, I guess. Seems kind of weak, honestly. Just 40%. They've been giving us 60%. So, I guess if you're looking at true dual wielding, you can end up with 40-40. So that's 80% total stats. That's in line with what they've been giving us, I guess. So maybe, I don't know. It just seems kind of weak to me. Vision card's gonna be Delicate Lotus. Magic and Spirit at level 10 is gonna be plus 75. So if you're going for one stat or the other, you're better off with some of the other vision cards if you have access to those. If you don't, okay, cool. This one might be okay for you then. In addition to that, at level 4, it's going to increase your magic and spirit with a rod. At level 7, it's going to do the same thing. And then at level 10 for FFBE units only, it is going to increase your resistances to all elements, fire, water, wind, etc., by 20%. Keep in mind, Shali so eloquently put it, FFBE only units. Moving right along, the banner is going to feature all the original Chinese New Year units, Lunar New Year units, however you want to put it. If you're missing out on some of the older units, feel free to grab them there. Spoiler alert, none of them are getting NeoVision Awakenings, and I'll get into that in a minute. So we'll touch on that in a second here. The summon itself is going to cost 4,500 lapis per summon. You'll get a free 10+1 every 4th summon. So, kind of like the old holiday pulls. Obviously, with that many 5 stars on one banner, the um, the 5 star pool is limited to just Lunar New Year units. I mean, that's a bonus, but still. So, that being said, moving right along. Um, Basically, then they took some time, and Hiroki came out and said they're not doing NVAs or um, ability awakenings for the foreseeable future because they're allocating their resources to making global exclusive content, which I don't have a problem with off the basis of the statement. Like if he were to tell me, "Hey, we're not buffing old units right now because we're gonna come out with some sweet ass content for you guys to play," I'd be like, "Sweet, forget the old units. Keep coming out with new units, and let me play the new content." Uh, Based on what has been said in the past, and he even references them, announcing that there were going to be awakenings and stuff in November of 2020, and it never happened. It's really hard to buy into what Hiroki's putting out right here. I really, I want to believe it, but then he goes on to say that they're going to rework the old units. Basically, in my opinion, what he's saying here is that they're gonna rework the units that would have gotten Neo Vision Awakenings. They're just not giving them Neo Vision Awakenings, and my response to that is, why take the time to buff them if you're not gonna, it's not hard to take some of those buffs, slap it on a pretty frame, and then be like, hey, look, now this unit can brave shift and do this stuff in brave shift form. It doesn't have to be game breaking or something to make people happy. I think this move's gonna upset a lot of people, and I'm kind of with them on it. So then they say expect a Glex, global exclusive rework every 2 to 3 months to make them stronger instead of latents and ability awakenings. Cool, whatever. Um, that's awesome. Esther will get buffed in April, so all you Esther fans, be happy with that. Some of the other stuff they announced, we're going to get the Ashura trial coming up. Hopefully, if she's got a break gauge. I haven't looked into the fight on the JP side yet. But if she's got a break gauge, hopefully they've got the tag unit break gauge thing fixed by then. They're upgrading shields. I guess STMR shields, TMR shields. Basically all the shields, they're going to bring the stats more in line for making players use them. Shali, I think, was the one that kind of mentioned that shields have kind of fallen by the wayside currently, and not a lot of people use them other than tanks. And I even see a lot of tank builds where people are like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna dual wield. So I agree with that move. That's a cool move. Chocobo slots are coming back in the next week or two. There's gonna be Transcension Pearls available, so be happy about that. Um, Obviously, like I was saying, they were apologizing for the latents and the ability awakenings not coming to global. But they're supposedly coming out with new global exclusive content that will be difficult and require Neo Visions, according to Hiroki. So, I hope that they're actually doing that, and this isn't some keep giving us your money, but 6 months from now we're gonna be issuing another apology about how we couldn't do this, but now we're doing this. Chamber of the Vengeful says hello, by the way. So, and then lastly, they announced the fan design units will be released over a 6 month period. King Behimi's gonna be the first one shown. He's got a pretty sick looking sprite. They showed that. Am I gonna go after it? I don't know. Personally, I'm kind of at a spot right now with Exvius where I'm a little bit frustrated, if I'm being honest. The content has been extremely lacking on the global side. Um, the banners have been, in my opinion, subpar. They skipped a lot of really hype units that people wanted to get the Neo Visions out. I understand the business move behind that, but from a fan standpoint, they needed to find a way to get those units to the players. So overall, not very excited for this month. But we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out in theory. If some of what they announced is actually happening and coming, cool. I can support that. If some of it's not, yeah, is what it is. I guess that's why we have other mobile games we play, right? That's why us mobile gamers tend to play 2 or 3 at a time. So that being said, I've been looking kind of at the Reddit and some of that, kind of seeing what people are saying, how they're taking the news and whatnot, and I do agree with one really poignant point that was made, which is basically with that announcement, we can now ideally look at the Japanese release schedule for units and kind of plan around that. That's great news for me because I'm kind of impulsive, and if I see a unit that to me I think is going to be good, and a lot of times in the past, I've pulled for units that people were kind of trashing on. Zargaboth when he first came out, Yoshikiri when he first came out. And, usually it serves me well, and it turns out that those units end up having some use down the road. But sometimes I strike out. There's been times I've pulled for units and they weren't very good. So, being able to look at the Japanese release schedule and, hey, I'm good on pulls until Luna Freya, and then, hey, I'm good on pulls until Vivi and Steiner. That's exciting for me. So, yeah. But with that, I'm going to close it out here. I should have a couple videos coming in the future. I will take this time to kind of give a channel update here because I'm starting to post to this YouTube now. So my plan for right now, I'm small. I don't have many subscribers. I ain't asking for subscribers. If you want to, feel free, but I'm not gonna end up with that, hey, please subscribe at the end of every video. That's not my style. If you guys want to, cool. I hope not to ever go back on that. But going into it a little bit, I got a whole list of trials that I want to redo for you guys, using newer units. And then I want to have a video series kind of once I get some subscribers, some followers, whatnot. I want to have a video series where you guys, maybe you need help with a specific trial that you can't find a clear for using units you have. And I go in and I have a lot of units. I might not be able to do it exactly like you guys do it. But, go in, use some of the units you guys have, put together groups, and try to down the trials that way. And so the first part of the series, I think I'm going to hit the Chamber of the Vengeful fights. I'll just be doing the legendary fights because you guys obviously know that the elite and advanced versions of the fight are just toned down versions. So if you can do the legendary fight, you can do the other fights too. And so from there, we'll just expand out on the trials. Plan to do the Esper fights, especially like Ashura She seems like she still gives some people some trouble. I've got a couple friends that play the game that have trouble with her. Um, so, we'll see what happens, but that's the channel update plan. If you guys have any, if you're watching this, you have a idea for a video, feel free to drop it in the comments down below. I love new ideas, and with that, thanks for watching, and have a nice day.